questions to ask, right? I campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming underneath and deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Yo, good evening. Listen, form goes out the window. Points goes out the window. League position goes out the window. Even, actually not to an extent, player preferences. I don't care. Listen, at the end of the day, we need to compete. We need to fight at the absolute minimum tomorrow. Honestly, this is the biggest game of our season, naturally, but in the context of our Premiership status and potential managerial status, this is the biggest game this season. JC, how you doing?
Stressed. I think that there's no other word for it, really. We got this game, and then we've got Arsenal, so it doesn't get easier. But then I'm really afraid of the coming up games because when you've seen how we played against against Villa, against Brentford, they weren't very convincing performances. So all these people saying you're going to get some wins, then it's going to be mad. But I'm just praying for a shot on target. Dan, I hope you see a shot on target. I really do.
No, 100%. I mean, off the back, I mean, this can't be out the window. We need one. We need one. And please, for those traveling fans that are going down there, once we've seen the goalkeeper make any form of save that's on target, please celebrate it. Please.
Oh, don't worry, mate. I will.
And such. You know what's crazy, obviously, when you look at the City game, we actually had shots. They were just all blocked. And a few of them may have been on target, but it doesn't count. It doesn't count. Dad, how's it going, mate?
Yeah. Good. I think after this week is done, I'll be feeling a lot better. Not gonna lie. But outside of football, my life's going actually pretty well at the moment. It's just football that's the problem. How are you?
You're not the only one. You are not the only one, to be fair, and such. But yeah, obviously a massive rivalry. Obviously, as Tristan says here, a lot of people are gonna say it's a derby. It's not a derby. It's just a rivalry. But I don't know. I think our mood will be tomorrow. Was it 7:30 kickoff as well, wasn't it? It's going to be dictated based on the lineup. Now, I know JC's got the thing up and ready, but we'll do that in a sec. But for me personally, I just want us to just start our strongest side so that the whole of Palace Twitter can stop complaining for starters. But also just to give us a chance. I mean, I think against City, I know we obviously were chasing the game, but we just looked a little bit better going forward. Not massively, but just a little bit better, especially when Wolf went out to the left-hand side. I think if there's any game to really get a riled-up Edward to come back in, it will be this game and stuff. If this game ain't big enough of motivation for you, it is what it is, man. Go out in the market and go get someone and such. But should we start off with let's start off with picking our 11s and stuff. I've changed my mind about 4 different times on this, by the way, based on the formation and stuff. Should we do this together or individually?
Let's do it individually, and then we can just pick it apart, or we can just change it. Because I'm pretty sure we're picking there or thereabouts the same players. It's just the formation and positioning. So we'll start with you, Rich. What formation?
I actually want to go 5-3-2. And this is why I've kept changing my mind on this.
Okay.
VG in goal. Anderson, Gay, and Richards as the 3 centre back.
Anderson in the middle, yeah?
No, because Anderson likes to get the ball from the right side of defence as he and spray. So go Anderson right, Richards central, Gay left. Bear in mind, I know we're not going to play this sort of formation, you know.
Yep.
Now, this is where it does get a little bit tricky because of my formation change. And it means someone may end up having to be dropped. But I'm going to go Klein and Mitchell. The 3 in midfield, Lokonga, Doucouré, and Ahamada. Now, I know I've been bashing on about not playing Wilf up top, but that's up top by himself. Wilf and Eddie. And I know that means we've dropped Elise, but I just think we might get a bit more going forward, as in like a narrow attacking sort of formation, instead of trying to get it wide when we don't really put crosses into the box. So yeah, that's how I'll go.
I think that's very rogue, bearing in mind that both these fullbacks are meant to act as wingers, but we know that they cannot go forwards at all.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone on the basis as if we're going to play on the counter attack anyway. You know, so they'll focus on being defensively stable. Sambi and so, I mean, this formation, hopefully Doucouré will act as the deepest, and then Sambi and Ahamada can bomb forward because we've got the security of Clyde and Mitchell, if that makes sense.
Mm. But
we're not going to go for that, but I'm just saying this is how I do it.
Yeah, I think that if that's the case, and we're going 5 at the back and Doucouré is going to sit back a bit more, I probably would maybe rather Eze instead of Lokonga, because I'd rather Eze going forwards than him.
Okay.
But that's just throwing it out there if you was going to play it that way, because
Eze is actually better going forward, to be fair. And I think
or even Schlupp maybe.
But either way, whoever it is, they wouldn't necessarily have much defensive duties because we've got the security of an extra defender.
Yeah, so
these
that's what
midfielders
I'm saying.
Could just focus on going forward.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that Doucouré could just sit and then you have 2 other attacking, which is why Eze and Ahamada might actually work out pretty well.
That could work as a 2, yeah, definitely, and stuff. So, it's just to allow the attacking players to just attack because they've got the security of because all our attacking players have been focusing on defending, you know, and hence where we can't even get a shot on target. So yeah, that's what I'll go for.
Dan, what's your thoughts on this?
In a way, it's not that dissimilar. I mean, I would still play a 4-3-3 that in defence would be a 4-5-1. So it would effectively be the same, but shift Zaha out left and then replace Richards with Elise. So, and obviously I know Hughes and Maka are out.
Yeah.
If they was in, I would maybe would have played Maka instead of either Ahamada or Lokonga, just for that experience, because he's played in these games like countless times now. But I'm a big fan of the whole 4-3-3 and then dropping into a 4-5-1 when we're defending.
That's a good shot, actually.
But personnel wise, mine's not actually dissimilar, apart from Richards instead of Elise.
Let's
because I think like the way Brighton play, because they have so many of those players that will sit in that middle. I think having 5 players, especially 3 players in the middle, would do us quite nicely.
Who played up top? It was Mateta, wasn't it? And he couldn't hold the ball up. And if he didn't have Bambi legs, like he could have at least had a shot.
Yeah. I like to think of Mateta as post-boom and pre-boom. Pre-boom, he was actually pretty all right. Post-boom, he has been shocking.
That's a very good way of analysing it, really. This is what I would do. Personally, I just feel like you get a bit more balance all around. You get another ball carrier in the team, and it is a bit more forward thinking than 5 at the back. Because as Dan said, 4-5-1 in defence, 4-3-3 in attack. If anything, 4-2, like 4-2-4 in attack, depending on what Hamada's doing. It's interesting because we know what happened if we press Brighton, and I think that's something that we need to think about as well, that we can't expose ourselves too much, which is probably why packing out in the midfield with 5 people is going to benefit us a lot more, because if we play 5 at the back, then we've only got 3 in midfield, and because of how they play 3-4-3, so we're going to have an overload in midfield, which isn't going to go down very well, especially if we're going to then try and press and wear a man down. So they'll just pass straight through us.
And we've got to bear in mind this time around, we'll actually have a striker on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because who was it? Undev? You weren't really good.
Ferguson's back from injury now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been really good for them.
Yeah.
Should we do a combined 11 while we're here?
Well, it's going to take. You might as well swap them all out, mightn't you? No, I'm kidding. There are some of our players who I think are individually better. I think their system is significantly better, but I think individually, I think we do have a few players who are better.
Cool. Just before that, let me just address some of the comments first, just quickly. We got Martin. You will look excited. We're really not. Shots the target out the window. It's a rivalry, obviously. I'm a bit nervous and excited. I reckon we could shock them. Listen, if we do, it'll be such invaluable points. What's up, guys? Finally get some time for myself. Oh, big up, man. I hope you're not working crazy hard. Crazy hard. Tristan saying here, if we lose and get it wrong, tomorrow Vieira has to go. So I guess I assume get it wrong is the personnel, Tristan. I guess that's what you're saying regarding this. Yeah, I mean, if the lineup comes up and no one's happy, and then we don't get a result, yeah, it's gonna be pandemonium. Like I said, I've given until the 1st, but you know what? With international break, that could be key, you know, because they might just get someone in during that international break, have a few training sessions before the Leicester game. So that international break could be massive, you know. Big Gunner, this is saying hopefully to Luke. Yeah, hopefully we can cause a shock. Would the lads be open for anyone to come in today? Yeah, why not? I don't know if we've got much to say ourselves, to be fair. Yeah, we can do that. So we have to go for it. Like we've got nothing to lose. Can't afford to play like we've done in the last 3 games. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I agree. It's that time now. It's like we've got nothing to lose. We might as well go for broke. You know. Client at right wing back. Tell you what, at least we know he starts further up the pitch by doing that. I think this is for you, Dan.
I've only just gotten it. I saw it earlier and I didn't get it, but now I get it.
All stats, should I say? Big up, Bobby K. Hope you're doing well. I mean, your team's had a topsy-turvy season as well, to be fair to you. Spurs fan he is. Well, I thought he meant something. Oh, the pre-boom and post-boom. That could have gone so south. Leave Mateta alone. He's pony. Hakuna Mateta. It means no goals for the rest of your days. I can imagine that he's singing now in this front room as well.
He's having a good time.
If Mateta scores for this match and makes us win, I'll be happy. Well, he failed the assignment because he was meant to score last weekend, and Dan would have cut his beard off. But he didn't get on the pitch.
No, the bet stands until the end of the season, no?
Oh, is it?
You know what? I would happily extend it to as long as he ever plays for Palace. Like he's never, and I feel still very safe in that argument.
Well, I hope he scores a hat trick this weekend then.
Fine. So be it. I'll take that.
It's a win-win.
Exactly.
The famous bird rivalry. I love it. Fly Eagles. Let's go, Patty V. Big up Moss. I'm saying Sean will probably get a shot on target before teaser.
Listen, Sean, if you ever come to the UK, you'll probably get more shots on target.
100%. Ayi Mateta, did Edward do something to Patrick or something? Yeah, I think it's an attitude problem. I think they've fallen out, 100% fallen out. You know, Zaha, Elise. See, those two are like guarantees. It's literally the who else. You know, Philly Eagles losing a lot of their good players. Hope you keep faith with a good manager and let him buy some players he wants the summer. Yeah, so if he does stay, this summer is huge. If he doesn't get back again, you might as well just sack him. Because it's going to be the same as next season. You know, Serbi's he's everywhere he's gone, he's made the team better. Like, it's crazy. He's actually a really good coach. Here he is. I knew this was about to come. I knew this was coming.
I still can't believe we done a fan cam with him and he didn't even mention Mateta's name.
Big up, James. Hope you're doing well, my guy. How do you finally get time to himself? So maybe Sean's getting... okay. Oh, you'll vibe your day. I think you should see yourself out, you know?
He's going chippy.
Johnson, Edward, ready to review that Brighton bench. Oh, that's peak.
It's not right.
Trust me, Martin, vibes is mad. I'm actually a good footballer in my day. If I play for Palace, I'll be scoring a lot of goals. I think Usain Bolt said something like that along those lines too, but, you know, it is what it is. The Jesus has risen. I was proper. Listen, I had to read it twice. It was mad. Listen, it's been a long day, man. Allow me. Anyway, let's try this combined 11.
So I've gone about it myself already, and there's already a lot of Brighton. I can't bring myself to put a certain someone at centre back, even though I think he deserves it.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Nah, I don't think so.
Why, who are you talking about? I'm talking about Colwell.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other one.
Oh, no. I would sin bin myself. And the other one that I'm debating is Matoma or Solly March.
Matoma plays on the other side, though, I swear, doesn't he?
Oh, in that case, then March it is.
Oh, but Matoma's better than March.
March has been really good this season, though.
No, he has.
But is Matoma better than Zaha?
All right, the question then is Zaha better than Ferguson up top?
No. No.
Shout for Pascal Gross, because he's been good as well.
Yeah, I put McAllister in there purely for a World Cup win.
Well, if it was Gross, he'd be at... I think they like play him at right back, but then he like pushes up into the midfield. So he'd be where Veltman is, I think.
Yeah, we're really struggling to get players in this, you know.
Oh, all right. Here's one for you, right? That is gonna get me a lot of unpopularity. But I would say Greater over Sanchez this season. Now the reason why I'm saying that is
Guys has been
because
really good lately.
Greater in terms of his shot stopping has been actually better statistically
yeah.
has been better than what he should. Like he's actually saved more than what he should have this season. Sanchez, I'm not 100% sure on, but he did also drop it right in front of Tompkins for him to equalise. So,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. You're getting sacked.
boom!
Wait, we actually got VG in. We've done it. Yeah, to be fair to VG, he's actually been, minus of like a few games, he's been really good this season.
Yeah, ironically, maybe not Zaha so much, but I do think Decore, Gay, Anderson, and Greater have probably been our best players this season.
Yeah. Because if
we're not biased. Like we got to keep it real.
Yeah, I mean, come on. If we take Evan Ferguson off of Mateta, like where does that leave us? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we're not going to score any goals again.
Oh, big up to Palace Matt Mason. He's doing a live preview at 9:00. Live preview at 9:00, guys, for the game tomorrow. So obviously check that out on his channel, please. Yeah, I'm not happy about this myself.
Yeah, I think
Matoma's not in it.
I do think Matoma should be in somewhere, but then that would mean we'd have to drop Zaha. So that would be a very popular move. But I mean, I actually wouldn't be against it. I'm not gonna lie.
See, Zaha on the left wing has been good for us this season.
My heart won't take it to put a Brighton player in there instead of Zaha.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
I couldn't.
Can we go three at the back?
Then we leave out people like Estupinian, and I think he's a really good left back.
Who's that right back? Is that Veltman?
Veltman. And then if you don't want Veltman, you could put Lamptey there if you really wanted to. And I haven't even mentioned people like
this season.
Lallana.
This season, Klein's been better than Lamptey though. Lamptey's just been so injury prone.
I think
overall, Lamptey's better. Yeah.
Yeah, like people like Lallana as well. He makes a shout for midfield.
That just made me feel quite sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Can we just have Matoma on the right then? Like I can't. Yeah, much has been good, but we can't be not having Matoma in this.
Yeah, Matoma needs to be in there somewhere. Not gonna lie.
Well, Zaha can play on the right. Should we put Zaha on the right?
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that will work.
That's fine. 2 Zahas. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay, are we happy with this? Because I'm happy with it, but I'm not happy with it at the same time.
No, but it shows how far they've gone and how far behind.
They are clear. They are so clear. Put it this way, I reckon if Colwill has another season like the one he's having now, next season, you probably have a big discussion with him and Gay.
Yeah, because we went for Gay as opposed to Colwill, didn't we?
Yeah.
We tried to get Colwill this summer. So we tried to get Colwill instead of Richards.
That was it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because I reckon if we got Colwill, we will be playing free at the back right now. But because Richards is built like a Quaver, we can't.
Yeah, I forgot the Champions League today as well.
Yeah, because he's built like a Quaver, we can't rely on him.
Quaver.
All right, I'm happy with this. I'm getting rid of it because I can't look at it anymore.
Well, I mean, I'm not happy with it, but it'll do.
Yeah, this is it.
Actually, yeah, BR's made a good point. Cole's on loan, isn't he?
Oh yeah. But he's still there right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's probably tripled his price tag just for his season so far.
Next season he'll be gone. Hopefully McAllister will be gone. Hopefully all their players will be gone. Hopefully Brighton will just be gone.
Yeah, let's hope Arsenal just buys Brighton.
Or Chelsea.
Yeah.
Or Chelsea. as such. Obviously, we decided not to do a tactical because of the games coming. It's let me be careful for that pause. The game's tomorrow. And then we've obviously got the game. You know exactly what I was about to say.
I prefer not to speak.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
I'm so glad I stopped myself, by the way. But let's talk about this game, not to a massive extent, because it won't be too dissimilar to what we've done previously. But how can we change? How are we going to be successful against Brighton at their ground compared to how we played in the home fixture where we absolutely got battered?
Well, I think one thing to take into account is that Brighton are actually worse at home than they are at. Wait, let me get this right. I'm fairly sure Brighton are worse, if not only slightly, maybe very slightly better at home than they are away. They're actually a better away side overall this season, I believe. So that would be one thing that goes in our favour. I think
You're saying that like our away form's any good.
yeah, no, our away form's also terrible. I'm just trying to scrape the barrel. I'm not gonna lie. Like, to tell the truth, there is nothing. Like, there is nothing. Like, one things I would say is don't get sucked into a press, because that is literally what De Zerbi wants. So when your dad is watching the TV, right, and is shouting, "Oh, run for the ball, Mateta, run for the ball," like, don't do that, because that is literally what Brighton want you to do. That would be one suggestion. Otherwise, I think you just got to kind of like do similar to what we would do against Arsenal, for example, and just I would play the 5 in midfield because I think it works. It stops diagonal balls. It helps stop vertical balls. Don't get me wrong. You still need an element of luck against a team playing that well. But that's it. And also, you have to attack Brighton. Brighton are defensively, attacker-wise, they're very good. Defensively, they are good, but not that good. So you need to attack them. You need to make them work, and maybe accept the fact that you'll probably concede.
Definitely. I think the one thing that we definitely need to do is try and stay as compact as possible, because they love to pass through the lines. So if you make the lines as thin as possible and try and give the people like McAllister, Caicedo, Pascal Gross, don't give them the space to pick up the ball and turn. I think the second they turn, that's when we're in big trouble. That's when they can pick out their passes. As long as they're back to goal and we press them and don't give them the opportunity to turn, then I think that we're going to be pretty good defensively. Also, off the top of my head, I can't remember what their crossing is like, but I don't remember it. I know they do a lot of crossing, but they don't actually have that much end product on the other end.
No, it's not that good. Like,
Evan Ferguson has only got 1 goal from 9 attempts using his head. So they're always going to be crossing, and they're aiming for that one guy, clearly, because he's the only guy that really is their number 9. So I'm not saying that we should allow them to get down wide and cross the ball in, because we don't want them to get into dangerous areas like that. But I think that the further out, like if you draw a ring around the goal, you got to keep them out of that ring, because if they're in front of the goal in a shooting position, they're going to take it, because they've got a very high shooting rate. Like, they'll shoot from not everywhere, but if there's a chance and they've got a free touch, they'll take a shot. Trying to keep it as wide as possible so that their players are isolated is probably the best thing, because as me and Dan keep talking about, they build triangles everywhere. And if you have a triangle, you can play through any press. And that's one thing they do very well. And they do very good one-touch passing, which is going to be very hard to keep track of, because there'll be pass, switch, and then Matoma or March will run. So we have to be very switched on with how we shift from side to side in the pitch as well.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with all that. And also, I think it's another good point as well, talking about their aerial ability and like crossing stuff. They've only scored their first goal from a corner last game. So from set pieces, they're not that dangerous, and they're also quite vulnerable to set pieces as well. And also, I think it's worth pointing out that Evan Ferguson and Danny Welbeck, who would play in that number 9 role, aren't really proper number 9s. They, how do I explain it? Like they'll try and move away from our goal to try and create space and try and drag Gay or Anson away. And then in that space, they either want like Mitoma or someone else like that or Solly March to try and get into that space and score. And I believe that's not too dissimilar to how they scored against us. One of them dropped off, they then crossed it in, and then March got in at the back post. So that's what they kind of want.
Definitely.
Yeah, just looking back at that game at Sellers Park, it seemed like they got a lot of their joy, and it wasn't really much in front of us. I think we defended that quite well. It was like 1v1 defending. I think we did well, but it's when they like pass it inside, then it goes back out like a 1-2 sort of in between the lines between centre back and full back, and that's where we kept getting caught.
Yeah, that's them triangles.
Yeah, because at times the core is like, "Ooh, who am I picking up?" Klein's stuck like in no man's land and stuff. But when it was at 1v1 defending, I think Klein did a very decent job against Mitoma.
Yeah,
it's just only when it was those 1-2s that like he looked like a deer in headlights. It's like it was just so quick.
It's the midfielders that move into the half space which aren't getting picked up. They're the ones that get the free pass off, and that's sort of in the half spaces where Decore will look at the defender and then look at someone like Anderson and say he's right in the middle of both of us. Who picks him up? And that's where communication is very key. And to be fair, I don't think that our team communicates very well. Like other teams, you hear players shouting and screaming at each other, but for Palace, I never really hear that. But I never really have though. That might just be a Palace thing, to be fair.
Because Sellers Park is so noisy.
We got the best atmosphere. We got the best stand in the league, but only one block of it actually does anything.
Yeah. With the... What was I going to say? Yeah, and I think like if you have the 5 in midfield, this is why I liked it so much, because generally speaking, this is the way I see football, is that you don't want any of your players to end up in a 2v1. If it's 1v1, that's fine. Obviously, a 2v1 in your favour is better, but what you don't want is a 2v1 in their favour. That's what you don't want, and I think that's what the 4-5-1, which we used last season, effectively did for us. Because say they got 2 players on the wing, so let's say so let's say Mitoma's got the ball on the wing, right? And then in that half space, you're going to have someone attacking it. So I don't know. I can't remember who that would be. It might be McAllister, might be Ferguson. I don't know. I can't remember. But you'll have that extra player in that half space between where the fullback and the centre back will be. You'll have that covered by your extra midfielder. By, I don't know, let's say it's on our right hand side. The gap between Klein and Anderson will theoretically be kind of covered by our right centre mid. So I don't know, Hamada or Lukonga, whoever plays there. So that's why I like it, and that's why I like it when it plays this. It's kind of like it kind of works the same as sunglasses, and that might sound like the most ridiculous thing in the world to say, but you know how like they're polarized, right? And you have like the rays going through in a certain direction. You have to have it polarized in both directions to like have for no light to get in, right? And I think the defense is the same. If you have 2 banks of 4, you're settled to that half space because you're only blocking one ray, if that makes sense. Whereas when you got the 5, you've got people covering those gaps and nothing can come through, if that makes any sense at all.
Unfortunately, not for me.
Basically, it blocks everything. All
right, cool. I was just like, wait.
Basically, having that extra man will pick up the slack.
Yeah, basically.
In midfield.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so thank you for simplifying that for me, because your Eric Cantona sunglasses and polarizing, that threw me.
Yeah,
I hated science.
It was a bit left field, not gonna lie.
I hated science. I switched off. Oh man. Yeah, it's like you said, let's discuss Vieira for a minute. Do you think this ends up being his final game?
No.
I think it depends. It really depends on how the game goes. Like, I think if it's like a 4-5-0 something, and we are absolutely pathetic, then I think that could be. But I think if it was like a relatively tight, say 2-1 loss, I don't think so.
What about a 2-1 loss with no shots on target?
Well, how do you get a one goal without a shot on target?
We've done it before. To be fair, we've done it. We've won games without shots on target. I tell you one. I think was the classic one.
Yeah, I tell you one way I think that Vieira will definitely keep his job no matter what. I think if he picks the right team. If he picks the right team, in my opinion, after that point, it's the player's responsibility to do the business. Because I know Vieira's not tactically the best guy in the world, but nor are me and Dan, and we can see holes in their team. So him and Ursi and Roberts can definitely find a way of getting through these guys and beating them. As long as he picks the right players, if they don't put the performance in, we have to start blaming the players as well as the manager because they need to take responsibility.
Can I play devil's advocate? And please don't shoot me on this. I just want to bring an argument.
Wait, where's my pitchfork? Wait, hang on a minute.
Right.
I've got no monster munch. It's okay.
Now, I'm with you with the whole aspect of play your best players, pick the right team. But let's just say the Man City game, for 75 minutes, he picked the right team.
Yeah.
In a sense of like, we were doing well.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm playing devil's advocate here. Like,
yeah.
In fairness, I want the right players in. Yes. Start.
Chairman said it.
Eddie up front.
Right players, right positions.
Yeah,
then you can't blame the manager after that.
Yeah, because I do think, for me, one of the most annoying things I've seen from Vieira is that he'll have Eze on the bench and then play Elise in attacking midfield.
Yeah.
And it's things like that do irritate me. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I do think it is actually mostly the board's fault that we're in this position. But at the same time, he has really not helped himself with things like that.
No, he really hasn't. He really hasn't. And obviously, like the chairman said, it's just right plays, right positions. Just start, just start Eddie tomorrow, please. And that's me going against the whole praising Ayew for his work rate thing, because I think the work rate is going to be needed against Brighton. But just start Eddie up top. Put Wolf on the left, Elise on the right. And then, because I think with Ahamada, Lokonga, Doucouré, we won't need an Ayew. Personally, because Ahamada will make the legs going forward. And you can see he worked extremely hard against City. He was literally box to box in the 30 minutes he played. And so if he plays that midfield, we wouldn't need to rely on an Ayew to win us fouls and so on and so forth, and to work hard. We can then leave the front three to just be a front three.
I also am going to defend Elise a little bit as well. Like, I know he gave away the penalty against City, but I actually think defensively recently, I think he's actually
he's been brilliant, hasn't he?
Yeah,
he's up his game a lot.
And you know what, Feb? I know he gave away the penalty and it was a crap tackle, but he was the only player switched on enough that actually went and closed Gundogan down.
Yeah, it was a catalogue of errors beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the fact that there was like 5 players pointing at each other, like not doing anything. Gundogan was just there in the box, and then I think really it should have been Jordan Ayew should have been the one that should have been going towards him. But Elise reacted really quickly, and I think he gave away the penalty. But I think defensively, I actually think he's been good enough where we don't need Jordan Ayew for that defensive work anymore. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I think the only thing that Ayew probably has over Elise is that he can hold the ball a lot better. Like, he's a lot stronger.
True.
But that's just playing devil's advocate again.
No, I completely agree. And for me, it goes back to like the whole board situation and what we were saying the other day about how Ayew for me personally, I don't want him in the starting 11, but I think he's
He deserves it.
I think he's an excellent player. As in, like, ideally, I'd want an upgrade on him, but I think he's a good player to bring on in, say, like the 75th, 80th minute, something like that, to see out a game. Do you know what I mean? Not someone who's we're relying on to go forward and get goals.
100%.
Yeah. Obviously, the only downside to Lisa one, it's just he had too much like willingness to try and get a tackle in and close down space in the box. You just got to slow down. You've got to slow down. If they end up getting a shot off, there's a chance that it can be saved. You know, it was just so clumsy. You know, but it would have been avoided had that communication been better. You know, between Wilf, IU, VG, that it just needed to be better, because obviously IU was looking at VG because clearly VG tried to tell him something. Wilf was looking at Gundogan and pointing, so maybe as soon as he saw Gundogan go, maybe just track it and then communicate, like, yo, like, you're meant to be in this area, sort of thing. You know, kind of a lot of like finger pointing and just passing the buck. You know, which was just disappointing to see.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say now. It's just a big game, and we're depressed about the way we're playing. Yeah. This is our game in hand as well. I believe it is, right? Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything though until we win, unless we get points.
No, yeah. But
well, all the team apart from Wolves and Everton, all the teams below us have played 26 games. In fact, of the bottom 10, only 2 of them have played 27 games. Everyone else played 26. It's only really the top half that seems to be really like all over the place in terms of like games
not
played.
A game in hand. We actually be playing a game more than everyone else. Oh gosh, that makes it even bigger. Then it makes it even bigger. You know, but yeah, Southampton play as well, don't they?
Yeah. Tomorrow we've got Southampton at home to Brentford.
Oh, Brentford are so iffy away from home.
Yeah. And then it's us, and then no games until the weekend. But there's some big games on this weekend. You got Forest are playing at home to Newcastle. Southampton playing at home to Spurs, who have been very dodgy. Wolves are playing Leeds. Villa are playing Bournemouth. I know Villa aren't in it, but Bournemouth been terrible away from home. And then we're obviously playing Arsenal that Sunday.
So we're looking for favours, really.
Yeah. I really don't like this whole we've had a really long run and then now we're actually getting like a quote unquote easy run, because I think one thing I think the stats can never ever, as much as I'm a stats fan, the one thing I think that it can never capture is like momentum. Yeah. And I think regardless of whether you've played hard games for, like on paper, we've had a really, really difficult run of games, but when you're losing or not winning when you haven't won a game since December, I think it does get to you regardless of who you played.
Yeah. And look at Bournemouth, like they've picked 2 points against Newcastle, 3 points against Liverpool. They were 2-0 up against Arsenal. So even if the momentum's getting them forward and getting them goals now.
They're scoring. That's the difference between them and us. They're scoring.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's our problem is scoring, isn't it? Because like defensively, we're actually all right. Considering
and in midfield, we're pretty decent too. Yeah, we just can't score.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Say we did have our shooting boots on. We don't
even make enough shots to have problems, though.
Yeah, but we could be top 10 because it's a massive issue.
Yeah, I think the biggest problems this season have definitely been the midfield issue for a long time. That was a massive issue, I would say, until January, until we got Lokonga and a Hammond in. And then now it's kind of re-overtaken. I mean, they weren't great in the first place, but if Edouard's not playing because of his attitude issues, that's a big problem. We got rid of Benteke, so then the only other option was we play Mateo, who's so bad that we literally play wingers over him. So
Yeah, and he's got such a good song that we can only use it when he steps on and off the pitch.
Yeah, I literally saw a Wolves fan near the beginning of the season make a banter thread about how they didn't have a striker, and we're here just like sitting here like it's completely normal. Do you know what I mean?
But even then, they still got Huang who could do a decent job there, and
Diego
Jimenez.
Costa.
And
This is before they bought the Costa. This was.
Right. Let me just address James's comments because he's clearly rattled with the Mateta talk and stuff. Coaching is clearly the issue. Definitely that's 100% that. Whether it's just PV or the whole backroom stuff, it needs sorting out. Board don't invest and care too much about making money rather than progressing. Vieira and the coaching staff are failing the players and selecting the wrong players for the wrong games. The players are lazy. He repeats, are lazy. A majority show little care towards the fans. As Mateta once said, we are a stepping stone. He did say that, actually. That's mad. I forgot he said that. What is he going? Is he going to stepping stone to League One or something?
I think he's going to jump in the river, isn't he?
James finally made the predictions again. It's been a while, actually. CM was catching you up.
What? Mateta is a bat. Oh, come on.
Can we ban him?
Wait. Let's get some Mateta facts, shall we? Let's go on.
I'm already on SofaScore.
Let me drop the link for the last 15 in case anyone does want to come in if they say. But
all right. So this season, Homie's got 21 appearances total. He's got 2.49 expected goals. He scored 1. He's missed 3 big chances. He has had 20 shots exactly and only scored 1 goal. He has 12 touches on average per game. He only completes 4.3 accurate passes per game. Mate, this is dreadful.
Well, I've just typed in the Jean-Philippe Mateta FB ref page, and even that has failed. So I think
37% of his aerial duels have been won, and he's lost possession on average 3.9 times per game. And you're telling me this guy's a good baller, yeah?
Right, Jean-Philippe Mateta has only had 25 shots.
Let's look at Preboom.
And he is undershooting, right? He should basically, in terms of XG, he should have scored 2.5 goals. He has scored 1, and he's only and in that amount of shots to do that is, I tell you what, it's impressive.
You know what's bad? He's got the same amount of goals as James Tompkins.
He's got 6 shot creating actions. 6. He's a striker. 6 shot and that includes if he dribbles himself and then has a shot. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. Sorry, no, I'll take that back. As if someone else has a shot, but 6, and he's meant to be holding up the play.
James is still defending this guy. I said he scored 14 goals in the Bundesliga, bro. You know what Bundesliga tax is, right?
The Bundesliga.
The Bundesliga.
Yeah, for every Premier League goal, that equals 10 Bundesliga goals. Let's be honest. That's a bit harsh, but
it is harsh. I big up Ali. He actually says here, put Schlupp in the false 9 would have had a shot on goal if Vieira had listened to me.
I still can't believe this guy got more points than most of us, and he said that we'd win 7-0. Man got 9 points.
Oh man. Oh boy. Oh,
Man City scored.
Yeah, he must have scored.
What, a penalty, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I have no idea. Haaland penalty.
Cool. You know what? Whilst we're here, so I might as well show you last weekend's predictions because the midweek games are going towards next weekends. So this was the results. It wasn't the best scoring week apart from. Well, I mean, Dan had not Dan. Nicky had a decent score. But listen, this is how mad that weekend was. Look how many incorrect scores there are.
Yeah,
Not even
four
not even
games that
result.
no one got. 4 games. Crazy.
There were just loads of surprises, to be fair. I mean, we're going to get to our guest in a minute, Carl. I can't believe it.
You've got a new bottom of the table.
So my laptop is very slow. Has it come up yet?
Yeah, it's
There
here.
it is. No, it's just very slow on my end, that's why. So obviously I'm still top. JC's starting to pull away now with the second place. Patrick has not helped his guests. And to be fair to Dan, he's now level with Nate.
Sweet.
What was
Aye,
that? Yo, my guy. Wait, that you know what? Yeah, if the camera was actually on the screen, that would have been worse than Hamza's one.
No, 100%. No, Hamza did a proper jumping action as well.
No, I know, but he did it in the seat. You can see it down there.
So obviously with everyone else involved, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I reckon Midge wins this.
Bro, how's man got 29 correct scores?
29 correct scores. I reckon he wins the whole thing.
Nicky, if you're gonna copy someone, copy Midge.
And so, like, he's always getting a correct score, like always. It's mad. So I reckon he'll overtake me.
I'm close
Very,
with
very
Douglas.
Yeah, because Doug had a massive week last week. I think he got 14 points or something.
Oh.
You know, it was a massive climb and stuff. And then obviously, well, James, here you are. You're still in 53 points. I mean, you haven't played for like 3 months and such. But good to see that you got your predictions. Now to the important bit. That's not it because there's something missing. There's always Why does StreamYard do this? I actually upload the page and it doesn't upload.
I think it's a user error. I can't lie.
Stop.
Sorry, I use that term a lot at work.
Bear with me, please, people. Let me make sure I get the right one. That's one and this one. There we go. Apologies. And I know Ali's probably in the chat thinking, yo, the violation, where am I at? Right, so let's start this again. And thank you for letting me cook. Caleb's still top. Joint top with obviously Jack. Ali is second with Cecil third. And you know what, Cecil, that was the first game of the season. To get 8 points was like, right, that's actually pretty good. You know?
I think he was the top of the table in the first week. He was like, yo, how's it guess doing that to us?
Literally, it was mad. He started off top of the table. And then bottom. Now, we had said on here that Dan, Grizz, and Hanif, if it stayed like that, would have to do like a playoff sort of thing, the last day of the season, for whoever does the forfeit. Now, Patrick said, hold my beer.
Patrick wanted it all for himself.
If you see the clubs, then you can see there's no ball knowledge.
Oh.
He got 2 points.
Right.
You know how mad that is? So he's officially bottom of the league. Now, obviously, every other guest just needs to beat 2 points. Now, otherwise, he'll have some company down there. But yeah, Patrick's been made aware of his forfeit, which hasn't been decided yet. but
Haaland
he's aware
scores
that there's
again,
a
by the
forfeit.
way.
Oh, shock. And yeah, if he ends up traveling to London, let's just say it's not looking good because that Ray and nephew might be a bit peak. It'll just be a night of just shots. Oh man, right, before we wrap up, let's just have a few more comments. I'm sure, yeah, it's still the Edward Mateta thing. James, I love James Mateta passion. Ali, I hope so. I really hope so. No. Must obviously mentioning Ireland's goal. Surely it's this year's day, yeah. Surely. You know. And some stats regarding Eddie. Eddie has missed 2 more big chances. 1 more shot on target than JP in 700 more minutes.
It's beta.
2 more goals in 700. Yeah, but Mateta's still pony. All right.
Well, I think the thing is, Edward licks the play better though. Like you hit the ball at Mateta, he either misses it,
He'll bounce
or
off him.
he bounces off him, ends up in the crowd, or like I don't know, like
There's only one good thing about Mateta.
when he comes off the pitch.
It's this one. That's it. and he does this every so often. Dan's laughing because he knows it's true.
It's all he does, man. 50 grand a week to do that. I wouldn't mind that. Is he actually secretly Eddie the Eagle?
That's best bits. That's best bits.
Oh man.
But before we round out, I'm going to be absolutely serious here. Form goes out the window. It's a proper rivalry. So it's going to be score prediction. Crystal Palace 1, Brighton 1.
I put that as well. 1-1.
Yeah, I've put 1-1 as well. I think, or did I put 2-1? Because I think if I put the prediction that makes me go bad, it's like reverse psychology.
Okay, big man.
All right, big up to Freddie Jennings. Thank you for joining. Press subscribe if you're new. Share the channel. Hit the like button. Yeah, it's definitely 1-1. So 1-1 draw tomorrow. And honestly, as we've been saying for the last 10 weeks, we'll take that.
100%.
Definitely.
All right. Yes, boys. Let's wrap it. So this was the Brighton match preview. Yeah, let's hope we get a point, because if we don't, it's going to be ropes. But anyways, as always, up the Palace. Eagles.